What's up, guys? Right here we have a white superpower strung with white 15 millimeter East Coast dyes mesh, and it's pretty good. I strung up a mid to mid low pocket on it. It's for a kid that plays on my high school team, and he doesn't really like a lot of whip, but still wanted a pretty decent amount of hold, and it is college legal because they haven't implemented the college rules yet into the high school league that I play in. But I know that they've been doing it on the. They've already done it in quite a few high school leagues or whatever on the East Coast, and next year they're going to be implementing it into the league that I play in on the West Coast. So he wanted to get ready for what they're going to do next year, so he asked that I made it college legal. This mesh is really good. I have it on two of my sticks. I strung it up on my sticks about 8 months ago, and they're still holding up really well, and they string up really good and throw well. So it's a not too tight of a channel, but it's a pretty good channel. It's pretty I think it looks pretty defined to me, about mid pocket. And so here's a sidewall pattern. It's a 9-diamond top string, starting on the second hole of the sidewall, and then I'll do it on the side. It's easier on the second sidewall hole, and then you go down to the third and do a tie like Greg does in most of his string videos on East Coast ties. If you don't watch him, you should probably go check his stuff out if you're looking to learn how to string. He has a lot of really great tutorials and stuff like that. And then skipping 2 holes of sidewall down to the 6th hole, we have an interlock. 7th interlock, 8 is an interlock, 9 is a 1-eye, so that's where you go through either the front or the back of a whole mesh, and then you interlock that next whole mesh to the sidewall hole, so that'd be the 9th hole. The 10th hole, we have a double up, and what I did is I went through the front of the mesh on the first hole, back of the mesh on the second hole, and I just found it actually creates like a much smoother channel. The mesh doesn't really like pull like out really hard or in really hard. It keeps it really balanced when you alternate how the mesh gets pulled. And then the 11th and 12th hole, we have SIs just to kind of pull it down and define the pocket. And then the bottom string is on a 9-diamond row. Right, I don't really know how to make this visible, but it's on the next 9-diamond row after the last SI, and you tie it off on the 14th. On the tie off, don't actually go through the back of mesh. Just after the second SI, you just put it through and tie it off. For the shooting setup, it is on a nylon on the second row of 9-diamond, and then 2 shooters on the second, and then second and the third 10-diamond row. It's pretty smart to not put the shooters really low when you're trying to string up a stick if you're trying to make it college legal, because I believe anything after this row, or maybe it's the next row, is too low. I think it's right where I have it. It's right at the it's the third 10-diamond row, but I'm not completely sure. You can always pull out a ruler and measure it. Here's channel shot, and then that's pretty much it. Rate, comment, subscribe.